All right, this is take 3 because I just pressed the stop record button by mistake. So I'm going to not touch my keyboard and start over. She-Hulk episode 4. The show continues to disappoint. I think I made some joke earlier about get around children. I don't know, but this show is not for children. Oh, it's because of the sticker from my child, but the show is not for children. So let me go through plot main, and then I'll go through plot B, and then we'll talk briefly about plot C, which happens during plot B, and it's inconsequential. Doesn't mean anything. Anyway, so what happens? Donnie Blaze, not Johnny Blaze, who is actual ghostwriter, but Donnie Blaze is some loser magician doing these tricks. He's at the show, it's not doing well, invites Madison, with the 2 N's, 1 Y, not where you think, up on stage. He starts doing this. This little helper guy is like, do the thing, and he's like doing this. I'm like, what in the world? He's like a Karmatage sorcerer. Opens this portal, sends Madison in. I was like, okay, well, she's dead. But she comes out into Wong's house, and while he's watching The Sopranos, she comes in and starts spoiling it's The Sopranos. I guess that was supposed to be funny. So Wong, being Sorcerer Supreme, instead of going and confronting this guy, he goes to Jen to try to get Donnie to legally stop. To which I wonder if she had not been the She-Hulk, or this happened like seriously, like what, like 2 weeks earlier, Wong, I'm like, what would you do, man? Like, go to the guy, make him stop. So he's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. They take him to court. They're in court. That's I don't even remember what's happening in the court. They get Madison to try to testify, but the judge, well, the guy, Donnie, is like, magic tricks, they're all bad. The judge is like, all right, well, you're annoying. Stop doing what you're doing until I make my decision. Donnie makes a rabbit appear, and she changes her mind. And it's like, oh, you can keep practicing. So that's on hold. That trial is on hold, I guess. But he goes back to magic, does the same trick. However, this time, a little bird comes out that lays an egg. The egg creates a little bat baby that turns into a big flying bat, and then a whole lot more come out, half for big flying, half for big dogs. And he reaches out to Wong for help, and Wong comes to help. Wong interrupts She-Hulk for what she's doing, and she, as She-Hulk, kind of like throws them, I think she's breaking the fourth wall, like throws him to the portal. They win the day. The guy's finally like, okay, I'll stop. Whatever. So that was, we have Madison, who keeps annoyingly coming up. But that's that plot line. What's happening in the meantime? So basically is Jen's dating life. So Jen earlier is seen setting up her matcher profile, which is kind of like Tinder. She uses her corporate headshot. Gets one lame date. The guy on it talks about himself and then just texts. I'm like, while she's trying to talk, and awkwardly they're deciding who is gonna pay for. Listen to what I'm saying. They're arguing about who's paying for dinner. We had Iron Man sacrificing his life. You had Captain America questioning his own government. But now we're wondering who should pay for dinner on a Tinder date. I keep telling Dork Dad Sam, like, the only solution, if you really don't like this, buy all the classics, get all your DVDs, get a DVD player, and cancel your Disney Plus subscription and just stop watching it. But here I am. Anyway, so the date was lame. Finally, on her own, she's like, okay, let me just try as She-Hulk. And she turns as She-Hulk, takes some selfies, gets a ton of matches, goes on dates, which, all right, now the only thing that's, remember the Asgardian construction workers, the only thing that's kind of close to a plot line this guy is like, man, you're a specimen. I want to like study you, or like okay, obviously something is wrong here. But then that's it. He's on screen for like 20 seconds, 15 seconds. I'm like, let me know what's happening, because the main plot line that happened is just Wong and the magic guy. And it's I don't know what they're doing. It's like the actual parts of the plot are way too short. Like you know what? WandaVision was weird, but it got to what, like the action of the plot moved along. Same with Falcon. I will criticize all these, but Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, um, Moon Knight, and Hawkeye. Like you knew who the bad guys, or at least eventually the bad guys came about. Things were heading towards a conclusion. What is happening here? All we know is that somebody wants She-Hulk's blood. And then later in the episode, Titania has copyrighted her name. That's it. What else happens? Well, all right, where were we? Anyway, all right, so she's going on dates. One of them was with that guy. It's like, are all these men losers? Even the last guy ends up being a loser. What do you mean a loser? I don't care how much money you have, but they're just jerks. Let me explain. One guy is like, how much can you deadlift? She's like, probably like a ton. And he's like, I can do 600, and I'm not even in Hulk form. I'm like, bro, you're a decent looking gentleman. I'm comfortable enough to say that. I enjoy lifting weights. I would not tell a date my numbers. They either don't care, and if they really ask you, tell them. But even if I don't care if you squat 900 pounds. If she doesn't bring it up or ask about it, like how much armor does your WoW character have? I hate to say it, but that's about the same thing. Exercise is better, but come on. Anyway, I don't know. Some guy's some sort of writer. Then there's the last guy. So she's going on dates. The last guy is perfect, buff, dark, tall, dark, not as tall as she is, and handsome guy. Pediatric oncologist wants to share fries with her and talk about how being a She-Hulk makes her feel, and she's like, "Boom, let's go." Just like, okay, Jen, that's all you want. All right. I think I mentioned in my last take that I'm old school, and I do feel, I mean, whatever. I would think if the man can afford it, try to pay for the dinner. If the man is asking, I don't know, maybe it's different with online dating. You're just like, oh, we're matched up. Okay, let's meet here, whatever. If you're like, I'm gonna ask you out, I'm gonna do this, I will pay. So maybe you should pay. But whatever. She's like, oh, fries, and you want to hear how I feel? Okay, let's go back to let's get those to go. So that's where Wong interrupts her. So, you know, they're at their place, at her place, I'm assuming. He like spills some on his shirt. He's like, oh, let me wash my hands or whatever. She throws the shirt away. And Wong interrupts. She comes back, and they have a nice night together. Also, why he's like I don't know. Is everyone desensitized to the abilities of the Avengers? Like, these guys should realize that how many super people, like, you know, you can say Endgame had a lot of people, but maybe maybe Civil War had about like 12 super people, humans, maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, but like Endgame was a lot of people because of all the Asgardians, all the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Ravagers, whatever. So those numbers, it was an army, right? How many people in the U.S. are walking around like She-Hulk now? Like, are there more? so people just don't care because Wong shows up and interrupts their date, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's like her mom walked in. He's like, "Oh, hi, how you doing? I gotta go." And so She-Hulk leaves, fights the bats. Guy comes back. He's reading like that feminist book, whatever. And just like, all right, let me be straight with you. Most Americans, if they're waiting for a date to get back, they are not going to be reading a book, especially not a book at someone else's place. They probably don't care. Most people don't read books. I hate to break it to you. Second of all, he would probably be on his phone. And my only beef with that is like what, like they have just men in general. They are just like beating men down in the show. I don't care what. Name me one good male example in this show. Like her dad. Okay, one. Maybe her new boss. Maybe he's gonna be bad at the end, but like they went the completely opposite direction and had this like fantasy guy. It's like, I cure child cancer, and I want to feed you fries and know what you think. Now those last 2 points, that's not too hard, but like, come on. But yeah, he's reading this book. She comes back, and Wong drops her off like in like a top level. Like he came in as if it was a door, but then he like drops her off on top of the guy. Like, here you go. Maybe she asked to be dropped off like that. They go, have a good night. What happens? Jin wakes up. She's making food. I was like, okay, well, maybe the guy's gone. The guy shows up, and this guy, along with wondering, if people are, that's a contradiction right there. People are either desensitized to the Avengers, or they kind of know about them, but they don't know how they work. So it's like saying, what? Like, I could see Captain America in a pizza shop one day, but then he picks up a car, and I'm like, oh, what? 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 I didn't know. Iron Man? What? Has a suit? Huh? What? Really? Because Jin, like, people must think that Hulk is just hulking all the time. Like, maybe Bruce is hidden so people don't know or care about who Bruce Banner is. But I mean, they saved New York. Like, what? Like, and then they ate shawarma afterwards. You don't think there are like cell phones out there? Age of Ultron, Endgame, maybe not a lot of people there, but still. But no, in Endgame, it's well established. Well, I don't know. At that point, he was Professor Hulk, not Smart Hulk. Let's get Professor from the comic books. Anyway, so he just doesn't know how She-Hulk works. So he sees her making breakfast as regular Jin, and he's like, who are you? What happened? She's like, I'm me. And he just, oh, okay, well, bye. And she's like, wait, but, oh, no, bye. I don't even know what he said. It was so fast. And then later on, then that's when a guy serves her papers saying that She-Hulk is copywritten. And that's the end. What? Like, that, so that's it. Aside from the one weird guy at the date, we had all these little bits and pieces of Asgardians trying to steal her powers. Where, tomorrow officially will be more than halfway point because it's 9 and 5 is, otherwise it'd be 4 points. So once you're halfway through the episode, you're technically halfway through the series. But if you get through 5, you're halfway through. That's, whatever. What is happening in the show? People are like, let's address this. If anyone wants to come at me in this show, that's fine. I don't think I get a lot of views here. Not like it matters. I think our last She-Hulk video, I got like 3 votes, 1 like, 2 dislikes. Wow, you're scaring me. But like, people are like, it's not meant for you. If I, Dork Dad A, worked at EA Games and said, you know what, guys, let me tell you something. Madden, it's great. Who's our market? Men. You know, we could really get You can really tap into the other 50% of the population, I think more women. We can get the women on board with this. How do we do this? Let's see. What do girls like to do? I guess eat fries and talk about their feelings, according to this show, or get it on with pediatric oncologists. But let's add elements of what women want to Madden, and then they put the game out there. And Madden people, I love you guys, but guys, probably mostly guys, but you guys are buying the same game every year. You're just paying for updated roster, and I mean, whatever, teach their own. But that's like, you change the game, and you're like, Madden customers come up and they're like, what in the world is this? I don't like this. And people that maybe they're watching it, maybe, I don't know if they're continuing to watch it, definitely are not buying the comic. Have you read the comic books? I'm like, I don't know, man. Have you? Like, I don't know the population of people that knew of a She-Hulk before this came out. And they're like, well, according to Wikipedia's in the comics, people are like, but it's in the comics. She does break the fourth wall. She's a comedy. Deadpool's a comedy. There's more action in there. It's supposed to be a comedy. It's not. And the layers keep going. It's not meant for you. It's supposed to be a comedy. I'm not asking you to explain where it came from or what it's supposed to be. I'm asking you to explain the product here. There's this is an audience that we came from. I am Iron Man Snap, killing Thanos. And now we're in the same universe. Talking about Tinder dates, man. It hurts. But she got it on with guys in the comics. Were the comics devoid of action too, or good storytelling? Goodness, it's not the main plot line. Literally took up half the show. I mean, now there was the Wong aspect, and then post-credit scene, Wong and Madison are chatting about their favorite drinks. Like, get out of here! Like, this is not funny. Do you think it's funny? What are your arguments here? The fact that she exists. It's a comedy. She breaks the fourth wall, and it's in the comics. Those are not defenses for a terribly written show. I don't care. And then if all those don't work, it's not meant for you. Don't tell me it's not meant for me. This is Marvel Comics. This is the MCU. This is I Am Iron Man, not I Am Iron Man Snap. This is the beginning of that. This is I had a date. This is I'm going to need a rain check on that date. This is Captain America saying what we knew before may not exist. Everyone look around you, even the people around you. This is all of that. And now we have Tinder dates. I don't know. It's just not funny, and the plot is just... It's taken too long to get to the point. They have 5 more episodes, and Daredevil is coming, but it's just like, I'm watching it because I want to give it a chance. Don't tell me I haven't watched it because I'm watching it, but I am a customer, and I don't like it. And I have my reasons, so you can argue against my reasons, but don't just come at me and say, it's not meant for you. That's not enough. So, I don't know. You can say, just stop watching it still. Like, I can watch what I want to because I expect something good. Like, maybe bits and pieces will be good later, and I'll judge them individually, but I am getting tired of this. I'm not hate watching it. I just expect more out of this. That's it. Thanks for watching. Sam's going to be the only one that watches this, maybe. Bye-bye.